Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Let's get into our game of reaction or overreaction. I'm going to give you guys, I got 4 of them written down. All right. We got about 18 minutes left here before TO's got to jump. So we'll be quick on these, but I want you guys to rank them. 1, it's just a proper reaction. Like I'm spot on. What I'm saying is 100% savvy. 100% ball knower over here. And if it's a 10, that means like, Rob, you got to find a new job, man. We can't be on this pod anymore. DTF
10.
The DTF Podcast.
11.
All right, we're gonna start with this. After watching Radford's guards, who are admittedly really, really good. Brian Antoine, if you guys are wondering whatever happened to Brian Antoine,
they are good.
Villanova.
Darren's done a good job getting those guys.
Yeah. I think that North Carolina's perimeter defensive issues have me completely reevaluating whether or not I think that is a team that can compete for a top 3 spot in the ACC this season. I'm very, very concerned about what they are on the defensive end. TO, is that a reaction or an overreaction?
I think that's an overreaction. I think it's an overreaction. Radford's a good team.
Give me a number. Give me a number, 1 to 10. Give me a number 10.
You don't know what you're talking about being 10?
Yeah.
7.
A 7? Okay.
Because there's some credence there because we've seen past issues. That's the big thing. So there's something to be said there. But they also held Radford to 23% from 3.
Yeah.
So it's not like they didn't do the things that they wanted to do. And North Carolina is going to give up a lot of points because of the style they're trying to play. So I'm not overly concerned. I was shocked when I saw Wojcik in the starting lineup as opposed to Elliot Cadeau. I'm not quite sure about that one, but you look at what he can bring to you off the bench, and kind of to keep the offense moving in a certain direction, you get a spark after those first 4 minutes. So I'm not all that mad at it. I think that's an overreaction.
Fanta?
I think it's a medium reaction. It's in between.
Give me a number.
5. 5. There's some credence, as Terrence Oglesby said. Look, they're going to give up points. You're exactly right, Terrence. It's how they play. I mean, they worked in the freshmen in this game, but and Jalen Withers played 15 minutes. Cadeau not starting, you're right, was curious. We saw Jalen Washington, the sophomore, go 3 for 3 from the field, have a decent performance. But guys, I got to tell you, the reason why it's a 5 for me is because I'm with you. There's past results that would reflect that I'm concerned about them defensively. But you want to know what my deeper concern is? It's the concern that we had last year. I worry about Hubert not playing guys enough and then kind of having limited options and answers for his team. So just because you've got a lot of certainties, right? Part of that, when you have youth on your team, sometimes you
play them.
So you got to play them. And that, it doesn't matter how, if you don't play them, I don't give a damn how many stars are next to their name. But you got to be willing to play them a little bit. And that's where I get concerned because I don't know if North Carolina is all that deep.
That's insane. The problem, you're not wrong. That I understand where that's a concern. But the fact that we're even questioning that tells me that he's not playing him enough anyway. In the opening, like Wojcik playing 21 minutes and Cadeau playing 19. In those 19 minutes, he had 6 assists. You trying to tell me he doesn't make his team better? Like, I don't know. I'm looking at the roster against a Radford team who's good, but they're in a Big South. They are good. Don't get me wrong. Your starters go 27 minutes, 29 minutes, 28 minutes. Wojcik's not really a starter. 21 minutes, and Cormac Ryan go 31 minutes. And, like, you now have 9 guys. In my opinion, they have 9 guys that could play double-digit minutes. He played 9 guys double-digit minutes. But, Cadeau should be in that 25-minute a game range and more, in my opinion. And, Jalen Washington's, like, he's a good enough player to be out there on the floor. We'll see what happens with North Carolina. I still think they're going to be very good. I'm curious to see if he kind of loses faith in a couple of guys and only plays 6 or 7 guys. That's the big concern.
I think that will probably be what eventually ends up happening. But shout out to Armando Bacot, 25 and 13, 5 offensive rebounds. Looks slim.
So good.
Looks slender. Looks like he lost a little bit of weight. He was moving pretty well. So, all right. Overreaction number 2. Kentucky's freshmen, the 4 guards, Justin Edwards, DJ Wagner, Robert Dillingham, and Reed Shepard combined for 54 points on 21-41 shooting. They hit 6 threes. They had 10 assists. They had 9 steals. Granted, it was against New Mexico State, but Fanta, I really liked what I saw from them.
That's a good reaction, and I'm going to give you a 2. All right? I'm going to give you a 2. They looked the part. Went back and watched some of that game, and they were in sync. It was New Mexico State, but we talked about Cal going back to his roots and also making some staff adjustments, reworking things. The fact is, though, this team can play vintage John Calipari basketball. They can play quick. They can play drive and kick. They're a team that I'm wondering still about their 3-point shooting consistency. They launched 29 threes in this game. They made 9 of them.
Good. Get them up. Get them up.
But you got to get them up. They have to be able to knock down perimeter shots. What I liked about this game for me is, I'll tell you, I think Justin Edwards, his overall feel and instincts are off the charts. He's got that it factor, and he's only, as he continues to process college basketball, you could just sense that he's blooming with tons of talent. And DJ Wagner looked good. I thought he played well in this game, and there's been questions about how he fits. I think he fits. I think Cal's been questioned before, right? He was questioned in his Memphis days. He's been questioned before with Eric Bledsoe and whether or not he could play John Wall with others. The fact is, this team has the personnel to play the style that Cal wants to play. It's a matter of the keys are in the freshman's hands.
See, that's where the only thing I'd push back on is I think the style that Cal wants to play in 2023, and I think it's been the case for basically the last 7 years, is he wants like a big guy on the floor, potentially 2 big guys on the floor, get to the offensive glass, throw the ball into the post. The thing that I really like about this team, T.O., look at what Trey Mitchell did. 9 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, spaced the floor. Like, I don't know how much you were able to see of that game since you had a game of your own that night, but like they were running offense through Trey Mitchell, like a lot of DHOs, a lot of dribble handoffs. Everything was spaced out. There was nobody in the paint. Like for the first 30 minutes of that game offensively, it was 5 guys around the perimeter. I can't remember the last time that happened with a Kentucky team.
No,
that's what I
agree with that. Yeah, the thing that also, along with those things, that you kind of knew that that's what they were going to do. They did that during their global games. They were playing 5 out. Trey Mitchell was knocking down shots and at least taking them, right? He took 3, didn't hit any. I think that'll change because he had a couple of games during the global games that where it's like, well, he can step out and shoot it, and you at least got to get out there and guard him. What was more impressive to me is the fact that on a team that's relying on a lot of freshman ball handlers, you only have 6 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's a huge ordeal. Now they do have that outlet in Trey Mitchell that they get it to, but at the same time, like DJ Wagner, ball dominant guy, ends up with 13, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover. Really, the only guy that was really a problem was Justin Edwards, who ends up with 3, and then Dillingham, he ends up coming in, playing 19 minutes, getting 11 rocks up, scoring 17, and doesn't have a turnover, has 5 boards. Like there's just, if they're efficient with the ball, they've got talented guys who can make shots. It's just, are they going to shoot them off the catch? Maybe not, but they got guys who can score. I'm not necessarily all that worried. 31% from 3 is a little low, but they took 29 of them. I consider everything they did against New Mexico State, who's rebuilding for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they were able to get that many shots up, not turn the ball over, is the reason you saw what you saw.
Yeah, I think if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD200 and you will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly when placing your first wager of at least $10 with BetMGM. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD200. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game regardless of sport. You will receive $200 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Just make sure that you use the bonus code FIELD200 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today. The turnover point's really important. They got a new head coach, Jason Hooten.
Yeah.
When he was at Sam Houston State, the last 7 years, they were top 75 in defensive turnover percentage. And the last the last 5, they were top 50. So that's the style that he wants to play is pressuring, forcing turnovers and all that. And it didn't bother Kentucky at all. So that was really impressive to me. All right. Next overreaction is that Indiana is not going to work with Mackenzie Mgbako at the 3. When Indiana made their run last night, when they won that game, they were down by 6, 48-42 with, I want to say, 13 minutes left, playing a lot of Mackenzie Mgbako at the 3 with Malik Reneau and Khalil Ware on the floor. When Gabe Cupps came in, they moved Xavier Johnson to the 2. They moved Trey Galloway to the 3, and they let Khalil Ware be the 5 to space things out with Malik Reneau. It's kind of as like their low post guy. 14-0 run in like 4 minutes. Completely turned that game around on his shoulders. You got to go with 3 guards. You got to go with 3 perimeter players with your Indiana. Mackenzie Mgbako, not it at the 3. Can't do it.
And Mackenzie Mgbako, though, I agree with you. A reaction of 1. You're right. You're very smart. You should get promoted. Mgbako, you know why he wasn't?
Where's he going to get promoted to?
I don't know.
Jeff Goodman's boss?
I already am Jeff
Goodman. He already Goodman's boss?
Yeah, don't let it fool you. I'm the one that signs the paychecks.
I guess Dagan Hughes' boss would be the next line of promotion since Dagan.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So here's the thing, okay?
I could be the CEO of ESPN and hire Dagan Hughes, and Dagan Hughes would still think that he is my boss. Let's just be honest.
All right. Yeah, totally. So you want to know why Mackenzie Mgbako got in legal trouble at Taco Bell and got no penalty for all that? Because he had to play. You want to talk about Mike Woodson? I mean, this team, I don't think they're a top 5, 6 team. I think they'll finish 7th or 8th in the Big Ten. I'm out on them. I'm sorry. This to me is not a very good Indiana team. We'll learn more when UConn faces them a week from Sunday. I don't think that's going to go very well for the Hoosiers, but we'll see. But I'm concerned. I mean, credits to Gabe Cupps. He came in and played a big role. They needed him. God, they needed him late. And he did. He only had 5 points, but the 19 minutes he played, he stepped up and did some good things.
Gosh, Indiana fans are going to love him for all 4 years.
They're going to love him. They'll love him, but they can't shoot, Terrence. This team is not, and that's why it doesn't work with Mgbako at the 3. They can't shoot the basketball from the perimeter. You agree. Xavier Johnson, as much as he's an initiator, you got to have people to initiate too. And you went from Jalen Hood-Schifino, who's a surefire pro, to who's on the perimeter that strikes fear into an opponent.
And they don't really have that. And the weird thing about this is like Mgbako might actually be the best perimeter shooter on the roster, but like you want him, he is a through and through college 4. Through and through college 4. But part of the reason why he is at Indiana right now instead of Kansas is because Mike Woodson was like, come to Indiana, we will play you at the 3. That is why he's there. That is why he is a Hoosier. That is why he is in Bloomington, because he was told.
Do we not think he can play the 3? Where did this come from?
No, go back and watch the film, especially of him defensively. Like they tried to play like this switching man to man 1 through 4, and he got switches wrong. He took the wrong steps. He's not a 3 defensively yet. And like
it's game 1, guys. It's game 1. Game 1
you're right.
Against a team that's a lot smaller. And keep in mind, in the Big Ten, they're not as fast as who they're going to play.
Yeah, but you didn't watch the game.
No, go back and watch it. Like he's got a long way to go. I don't think that is the answer there. We'll see.
Game 1.
Maybe I'll be wrong. So T.O. is saying that my take is a 9. There you go.
No, I think there's validity to there, but it's game 1. Florida, whatever, is small.
Hey,
and it's like, I understand the apprehension. I think he can play the 3.
If Woody can make the tournament this year, all right, if he finds a way to make the tournament, I know people will be like, well, come on, they should. They're Indiana. I would consider that to be an accomplishment with this group. I think this is going to be a more difficult season than we know.
I think
when you inherit Trace Jackson Davis, so much of what they did was geared around him. This is going to be a process this year with Indiana.
Mm-hmm. All right, I got one more Big Ten take for you, and this one might shock you. I think that Michigan point guard Doug McDaniel is, 1, a sneaky All-American candidate, and 2, going to be one of the biggest reasons why this Michigan team is going to shock everybody. I think they're going to be a top 20 team in America. I think they're going to be one of the highest scoring teams in America. Yeah, I think they're going to be really good. Like I was totally out on them heading into the season, but like Doug McDaniel could play. I posted a tweet about him today, which was just Doug McDaniel and then the Shaquille O'Neal meme where he says, "I'm sorry, I apologize, I was not aware of your game." Like he had 22 and 8 last night, and granted it was against UNC Asheville, who, like, I love you, Mike Morrell, but that team is not really built to guard. But he's I think he might be different, man. I think Michigan top 20 might be pushing it, but for the sake of like the reaction versus overreaction, I'm going with it. Michigan, top 20 team in America. Doug McDaniel, sneaky All-American candidate. T.O., I know you got to say what you got to say, man. Rank it 1 to 10.
I don't like this ranking system at all. I hate this ranking system. 5. It's game 1. It's game 1, and this is a Michigan team that shot 46% from 3. They're obviously going to look great. You hit half your threes, you're going to look great. Doesn't matter who you play against. And for a team like Asheville that spaces everything out defensively, they can get caught in some bad situations because they're pressuring. So the quickest guy in America, Doug McDaniel, he's going to be able to get past that line of defense quick. They collapse if they hit shots. I hate hot takes right now. I'm so
over your rationality, T.O. I'm so over.
I'm not big on rationality. I'm huge on it.
So I'm gonna go with a 6 to say it's a little hot because it's UNC Asheville. But you're allowed to do a victory lap if on Monday they march into Madison Square Garden and give St. John's a reality check. And Doug McDaniel's the best guy on the floor, which, look, if he performs to the level that it looks like he's capable of, he could be. But Rick Pitino's going to guard. And he said that game is, by the way, that is a really interesting game on Monday. Now, I think in the preseason, we were like, it'll be St. John's first big show. They'll probably coast to a win, and that'll be it. Rick Pitino's facing Phil Martelli in the year of our Lord 2023, and the teams are Michigan and St. John.
I thought they would be beside each other on the beach somewhere retired in Florida.
Yeah, I know, right? Living the dream on the Jersey Shore. Heading down to Wildwood. Both of them are built for Wildwood, by the way. I don't know if you guys have ever been for Wildwood, but Phil Martelli and Rick Pitino are two guys that you could see.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I think your take is a 6. I think that Doug McDaniel, Michigan is in the perfect role in the Big Ten. They were picked 11th. They've never finished worse than 10th in Big Ten history. And the time they finished 10th was in the 60s, and it was once. They're not finishing all the way back there. They're not, guys. They are in a perfect position. Everybody and their mother's been burying Michigan for the last 8 months because they lost Hunter Dickinson. Caleb Love's situation was all screwed up. Caleb Love not going to Michigan might have been the best thing that could happen to Michigan. Because if Caleb Love's at Michigan, Doug McDaniel's not getting this level of opportunity.
That's fair. Well, listen, This has been the DTF Podcast. This has been Rational T.O. I think that's what we're just going to start calling you right now. Rationality, the king of rationality. Thank you for watching The Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.